Good morning. Good morning. I'll try it again. Good morning. Good morning. No, it's on. Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing the microphone. Testing the microphone. Still testing. Hope everybody at Zoom is listening. Oh, hey, there it is. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to everybody here. We also have some people watching from Zoom. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the celebration of life for Stephanie Brockford. I'm gonna refer to her as Brock because that's how I knew Brock. And on behalf of Brock's family, thank you all so much for being here. My name is Kat. I've known Brock since the early 2000s. Her ex-wife Allison and I have known each other since junior high. The night I met Brock, I'll never forget, because when you first met Brock, you never forgot. I was living in North Hollywood, and I decided to go down to the local lesbian bar called Moon Shadows. And there was a Pat Benatar cover band playing. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go check that out. And at the time, Allie and I had kind of lost touch. We weren't hanging out as much anymore. So when I saw her, it was a great surprise. She's like, well, come on, I want you to meet my new girlfriend, Brock. I was like, okay. So she brought me over to the table and introduced us. And my first impressions of Brock were that she was really fun. She was super hot. She was full of energy. She had a lot of attitude in that tiny body. She had great hair in the coolest style, kind of a mix of rockabilly and vintage chic, that Brock look. So we got along immediately. That night, we made each other laugh a lot. And I just remember always loving that I could make her laugh. So after that night, the three of us, I kind of became Brock and Allie's third wheel. We were pretty inseparable. We did things together all the time. Brock and I had a lot in common. We both loved cats. We were both big sci-fi fantasy nerds. And we loved music, specifically punk rock music. I remember one time she came with me. My favorite band was in town. It's called, the name of the band is Sleater-Kinney. It's an all-girl rock band. Nice. And they were playing in Hollywood. And I said, Brock, come with me. You should come. This will be fun. She and I had never gone to a live show together. So we got there early so we could be close to the front of the stage. And one of the things I loved about Brock is that she did not take shit from anybody. So that night during the show, there was this big dude behind us. He kind of kept pushing into us and like knocking us forward. And Brock gave him a few choice words and that look. Do you guys know what that look is from Brock? I think you probably do. If you're not familiar with that look, let me tell you what it means. If you got that look, it said, I don't care how big you are or how high my heels are, I will kick your ass. So that worked that night because that guy did not bother us for the rest of the show. And in 2010, I started a t-shirt company called Tomboy Tees. I wanted to make t-shirts with a queer and nerdy point of view, the kind of shirts that I wanted to wear myself, the kind of shirts that people who might not feel comfortable in their own skin would be proud to wear. Allie and Brock loved that idea, and they became my partners in that business. Brock believed in me, in my ideas, so much so that she devoted her time and energy to make the company a reality. Tomboy Tees isn't around anymore, but the shirts are. I'm actually wearing, the shirt I'm wearing right now is one of Brock's designs. I'm wearing it in honor of her. It's um, it's a tribute to one of her favorite shows, Doctor Who. So it'll be hard for me to look at the shirts that we still have and not think of Brock all the time. Brock was full of life, passion, her own unique spark. She left an impression with everyone she met. And Brock, I hope you have found peace, and I will hold on to the memories of our friendship for the rest of my life. As part of our service, next up, Allison Brockford is going to read a poem. It's called Let Me Go by Christina Georgina Rosati.
Okay, so Brock wasn't really about like funerals and being depressed and like, I mean, we all mourn in our own way, but she would want people to celebrate and be happy and have a good time, not be sad. So that's the reason I picked this poem. I spent a few days and a lot of hours looking through poems, and none of them were just right, but this was the closest thing I could find. So it's called Let Me Go, and it's when I come to the end of the road and the sun has set for me, I want no frights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul that is free? Miss me a little, but not for long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that once we shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all part of the master plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends we know. Laugh at all the things we used to do. Miss me, but let me go. When I am dead, my dearest, sing no sad songs for me. Plant thou no roses at my head, no shady cypress tree. Be the green grass above me, with showers and dewdrops wet, and if thou wilt remember, and if thou wilt forget. I shall not see the shadows, I shall not fear the rain, I shall not hear the nightingale sing on as if in pain. And dreaming through the twilight that doth not rise nor set, happily I may remember, and happily I may forget.
So next up, as part of our service, we're going to have some family and friends speak. So first up will be Stacy Cook, followed by Stephen Causey, then Kelly Hart, Melissa Summit, and then Avi Minshew.
I'm very nervous. Bear with me. Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Stacy, and I am Stephanie's first cousin. Most of you know her as Brock, but I knew her as Stephanie growing up, so I'm going to refer to her as Stephanie. I have some early childhood memories I'd like to share with you, and I'm not the best at speeches. I'm a little emotional, and revisiting these memories without her here to share them with me really weighs heavy on my heart. We were both born just 7 weeks apart at Presbyterian Dallas Hospital under the same doctor. My mom was there when Stephanie was born and said she was a beautiful baby girl, and Cindy, Stephanie's mom, was overjoyed to have a daughter. My own mom, however, was a tad jealous because she believed I would be a boy since Cindy got the girl. But lo and behold, we were both baby girls just months apart with many adventures ahead. I'm fortunate to have shared so many childhood memories with Stephanie, and today I want to celebrate the unique light that she brought into my life. Some of my fondest memories are of weekends spent at our great-grandmother's house, who was born in 1901. Though Nanny's modest one-bedroom apartment in Carrollton, Texas, might have seemed very small to outsiders, it was a realm of wonder and warmth for us. Every morning she prepared a delicious breakfast, pancakes for me, and homemade oatmeal for Stephanie. Even though I found oatmeal disgusting, Stephanie adored it, and Nanny was always willing to spoil us both. I remember how Nanny would patiently guide us as she taught us about nature, being kind to others. We helped her water her morning glories and violets, and she taught us about monarch butterflies and blue jays. She also read to us many golden books and the funnies from the newspaper, which were our favorite. I remember Stephanie loving James and the Giant Peach and Puff the Magic Dragon. Our afternoons were filled with simple yet unforgettable traditions. I vividly recall Stephanie and I both sitting in Nanny's lap in her old rocking chair while she recounted stories from her own childhood, connecting us to generations of family history. She also took us on countless walks, let us play at a nearby park, and taught us how to crochet. Nanny's house was always magical and was filled with beautiful moments in time. In those simple, cherished moments, Stephanie was never just a cousin. She was my first best friend. Sorry. The person I admired and confided in and looked up to. Together, we played classic games like dominoes, Go Fish, Crazy Eights, and Old Maid. We even indulged in what now seems unbelievable. We ate fried spam and hot dogs cut up, dipped in mayonnaise. We learned to whisper when Nanny was making homemade Nanny rolls so we wouldn't disturb the rising of the dough. We reveled in every game, every shared snack, and every whispered secret between us. As we grew older, life brought both joys and challenges. When Nanny passed away, we were about 11, and our visits shifted to our grandmother, Gigi, who was often busy working at Freed's furniture store. Even there, Stephanie and I found ways to create our own adventures, playing amongst the store's furniture and inventing games that fueled our imaginations. Gigi taught us to walk like models, set a formal table, and have immaculate manners. Gigi always loved Stephanie's gorgeous, natural strawberry blonde hair and peaches and cream skin, and Stephanie absolutely hated it when she brought that up to her. Although Stephanie always seemed a step ahead of me by growing quicker, maturing faster, having more life experience or trendy fashion, this only deepened my admiration for her bold, fearless, and adventurous spirit. I was much more shy, and Stephanie was a natural leader. Our teenage years were marked by both shared laughter and growing distance. I still remember the care I took in choosing a Christmas gift for her, a Prince album. Many years later, she surprised me and showed me she still had the album with a message I had forgotten I had written on it. She told me that the album helped her get through many tough times when she was a teen, and this truly warmed my heart. Stephanie's life was never easy. She was headstrong and independent, and these are traits I believe she honed early on to navigate her challenges. Though our paths eventually diverged when she moved to California, the bond that formed in our childhood remained a constant in my heart. I remember missing her so much and being so excited when she visited me one time in college, and I remember every boy thought she was beautiful and that she looked just like Michelle Pfeiffer from our favorite movie, Grease 2. We learned every word to the song Cool Rider and thought we were super cool, adding dance moves as well. But she was always just a little bit cooler than me. I was overjoyed when Stephanie returned to Texas with her then wife and daughter Onyx, and I longed to bridge the gap the years had created. But even then, we did not see each other as much as I wanted. Time got away from us, and we had separate paths and struggles. In our last conversation just months ago, I finally sensed her hope. and the progress she was making, and she was working 2 jobs to secure a place of her own. We had plans to meet up again, and I hoped we would be able to reminisce and reconnect, but that day never came. Stephanie was taken from us far too soon. Reflecting on our memories, the endless games, the whispered secrets, the shared laughter and tears, I pray that wherever she is, her darkness is lifted and she now finds only peace, joy, and the radiant light that defined her spirit. Stephanie, you will always be deeply missed. The void you leave behind is a testament to the incredible impact you had on my life and all those who loved you. I choose to cherish our good memories and celebrate the beautiful, adventurous soul you were. Your life reminds us all to hold our loved ones a little closer, speak our hearts a little louder, and live every moment with gratitude. Thank you for the joy, the adventure, and the love you brought into my life. I will always love you. Steven?
Hey, forgive me while I try to get through this. My name is Stephen Causey. I sat in the chair next to you, not totally understanding why you were so excited. I definitely was not excited. The Bionic Woman and Buck Rogers totally preceded my youth. And as a young boy, I had one of a billion male role models to get me excited. But I sat next to you because you asked me to. You stared in complete awe, as if you were sitting across the room from Luke Skywalker. Not the actor, but the actual force-sensitive, lightsaber-wielding Luke Skywalker. I didn't know these two ladies, Lindsay Wagner and Erin Gray, but I was completely fascinated by the amount of energy emanating from you as you sat in that chair at RetroCon in the summer of 22. Squirming in your chair, your eyes were fixated upon them. I watched you smile and giggle and laugh at even the most obviously unintended brushes with humor. You were raptured and inspired. For once, I understood why superheroes and heroines are so important for us all. It was through that experience, my favorite memory with you, that I think I understood you better and your deep love for science fiction, and especially the uncommon superpowered women of your generation. Your life was not easy. You struggled with being accepted for who you were, which was a fierce heroine trapped in a world that didn't always seem to have a place for you. You were a bright light that lit up the room, just like they lit up the screen for millions of little girls who felt all but forgotten. Bright lights like these are as rare as they are important. They provide warmth and comfort, and they are a beacon to others around you who are lost and alone. When I moved my family here, we were alone. We knew no one, and if I'm being honest, due to an odd upbringing to say the least, we didn't know how to get to know someone. We met a lot of people, though, sifting through them like light from flickering street lights, escaping occasionally into a dark room through ruffled curtains. Not many of them managed to stay very long or prove particularly meaningful in those early days. But that changed when we met Brock and her then wife, Allie, and their daughter, Onyx. They were our first real friends. Brock was totally unique. Her fashion was courageous, fun, and geeky in the coolest way possible. Her knowledge of all the greatest sci-fi shows was second to none. She loved cooking and decorating, crafting unique lunchbox purses, and hustling unsuspecting peers at pool. She loved laughing and playing games and hosting house parties. We were immediately drawn to their little family. We loved them. They were our only and best friends for a long time. Excuse me. I'll never forget when their water heater had busted all over their house one night. I read about it on Facebook at 2 a.m. and I had the shop vac in the car ready to come over. An astonished Brock said on the phone to me, "I can't believe it. What? I replied. You're our friend. We have a friend who would come over at 2 a.m. We did so many things together. We had Star Wars theme nights at our house. I made TIE Fighter cheese and crackers, and Brock made Darth Vader candy to accompany the movie our families gathered together to watch. Leia was her favorite. Did you know she met Princess Leia? Of course you did. Getting called up on stage with Onyx and sitting on the couch with her and Carrie Fisher to ask questions at the Comic-Con was one of her favorite and proudest stories. She showed us the video of it, and she was so cute and nervous, kind of like being in the room with Aaron Gray and Lindsay Wagner, but even more awestruck. I don't know if she uttered a single word on that stage. We went to Halloween parties at their house and watched the display of bruschetta, dips, and sweets quickly disappear in the kitchen she was so proud of. The trophy she designed for the kids' costume contest, which my daughter won one year as Princess Leia, still proudly gets displayed on our mantle every year in October. She made me watch Firefly so I could join them for Serenity at the Alamo, an experience I'll never forget. Watching movies with Brock was always an experience. She would get so excited. When Allie rented out the theater for Brock's 50th birthday to watch Grease, and even had Frenchie personally wish her a happy birthday, all I remember is her giant beaming smile and laughter while she sang along and knew every line to the movie. We went to Onyx's stage shows and watched her perform, and even got to go backstage and see Brock's happy place, a warehouse filled with props, set pieces, and power tools. She was so proud to be involved with her daughter's theater. We would have coffee together and breakfasts and dinners. We bowled and had picnics. We went to Six Flags. We went camping. We had fun. No fun lasts forever, though. Brock's light shined so bright, which is exactly what attracted so many people to her. But for the ones that got too close, sometimes it burned, and they got hurt. I don't know that she always knew how to show her love to those closest to her. She definitely always felt that love. I can attest that in the deepest and most vulnerable talks we had, the love she felt toward everyone helplessly bubbled out of her rigid and broken exterior. Maybe you're wondering if I'm talking about you when I say this. Yes, I'm talking about you. She loved you even if she left you thinking maybe she didn't. Brock, there are a million things I want to say to you right now. I want to watch Star Wars with you, join you for coffee, let you destroy me at Ms. Pac-Man, or just whatever. I just want to talk. I want to say so many things, but I can't. So I'll just say this. Thank you and your little family for the memories and for lifting my little family out of darkness. You are forever a gem this world couldn't hold on to. A light too bright that burned out way too soon. I love you, I miss you, and I'm sorry.
Kelly Hart is up next.
Those are two acts that are hard to follow. Hello, my name is Kelly. This quote is from the author Deepak Chopra. Life is the coexistence of all opposite values, joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, up and down, hot and cold,
here and there, light and darkness, birth and death. All experience is by contrast, and one would be meaningless without the other. I have often felt unwelcome, truly. Maybe on the surface I am welcome. I'm usually a very smiley person. But it's difficult for me to make friends because I'm a person who stutters. I may not be stuttering now because I am reading this, and I generally don't stutter when I read something. I love Brock truly. We were good friends, and I tried to be a good friend until I couldn't any longer. Brock loved passionately. I think that Brock thought that I was either with her or against her. I may have not been with her those last few months of her life, but I was never against her, always wishing the best for her. I always knew we would be friends again. We would paralyze each other in laughter again, just like old times. She was vibrant and stylish and a sexy force of nature. Brock would make these gorgeous costumes for Halloween. Being around her made you want to be just as uniquely stylish and artistic as she was. The first time I met her, I was sitting on the playground at Shepherd Elementary School in Plano, waiting for my eldest daughter after school. I was sitting on the ground with all these other moms standing around each other, looking like the cool cheerleaders, and I was the reject. Out of nowhere walks this sexy pirate with red streaks in her black hair. She's wearing these thigh-high boots, short skirt, and a low-cut, form-fitting top that pushed up her already perfect boobs. The sexy pirate scopes out the joint and zeroes in on me. She sits down on the ground next to me. I was in awe. I find out that she's married to a woman and lives on my street in this super conservative Plano. I have friends now. She had a beautiful heart and a lot of love to give. She was an artist and loved her artist friends, some who had painted her or photographed her authentic beauty. Maybe how she showed her love was a little clumsy, or maybe not shown to the people she loved the most well enough. I know that she still loved me, even though we weren't talking anymore. I know she loves her beautiful daughter. As do we all here. Love you, Onyx. Life is unfair. I don't know the meaning of it all. I don't know who is right and who is wrong. Other than this other quote by Deepak Chopra: give up being right. Instead, radiate peace, harmony, love, and laughter from your heart. But then again, I don't know if that is the right quote. I will try to radiate peace, harmony, love, and laughter from my heart. We have to fight for what is right in this country now, especially now. What is right is treating everyone with dignity and love. I love you all for listening to me. Because Brock loved you, I know I would love you too. And I love you, Brock. I will hold you in my heart for as long as my heart still beats.
Next up is Melissa Summit.
I want to get through at least some of this because she deserves it. My name is Melissa. I met Brock sometime in the mid-teens, and from the very first moment, I was just really kind of, I don't know, friend smitten with her. And we were all in a social group together, and we would get together for various things. And I was always very, I don't know, anticipating her coming in. I was like, I hope Brock comes, I hope Brock comes. One of my fondest memories of her is she was very competitive. Y'all probably don't know that. And I am too. And one of our social events was game day. We played board games and everyone had a good time. But I really wanted to play against someone that really wanted to win, like I did. So when she would come to board games, it would usually end up, everyone else was just kind of filler. It would turn into a contest between me and Brock. I always admired her kind of her vintage style, and she was just super, super cute. And one day I came over and I had a key to the house at that time, so she didn't answer, so I just let myself in. And I was looking around for her, and I just knew her as this, you know, cute little petite woman that wore her vintage A-line dresses. And I finally wandered out back, and there she was up on a ladder, tool belt, drill in hand, fixing the fence. And I was like, what are you doing? She's on fixing a fence. And I was like, I didn't, oh, okay, I don't know how to do that. Apparently you do. So that's kind of when I realized it's like, really the whole package. Okay, just a couple more things. I started thinking about dating again, and I was really nervous about it. And I was telling Allie and Brock about how nervous I was. And Brock said, she said, you don't worry about that, because I'm going to go on every first date with you. And I'm going to sit there at the table and I'm going to look across the table at him with that look, like, if you hurt Melissa. I felt very, I mean, I knew she'd have my back if I needed it. And I mean, like, have my back. Like we would be down making a police report, that kind of have my back. She Star Wars and Princess Leia is everything, and we were able to share that. Like Steven said, I loved her her Carrie Fisher video. What else? And then just I've always tried to take care of, you know, other people, frankly, the women in my life, and sometimes to the expense of my own well-being. And she told me this once, and I'll just leave with this because it just kind of really told me how she saw me. She said, I know you like to take care of the women in your life, but remember, you're one of those women. And I love her and I miss her, and I just want to say that. Thank you.
The last speaker is going to be Avi.
I started writing something the other night and I just couldn't finish it because I couldn't get it out. Hopefully I can get it out now. I've lived here for like 4 years now, and Brock was actually my first friend, and 4 years of living here, she was my first friend. And I met her this summer. And she really brought me out of my shell, and I made all my friends meet her, and they were like, she's one of the best people we've ever met. We would just talk for hours and hours every night on the phone, just about everything and nothing. And I remember she would just randomly call me, like throughout the day, just tell me random things that happened, like oh, I'm getting in my car. And then she would just hang up and then call me back. Like, okay. But she was one of the best people I ever met, and I didn't realize it until after she passed, but she really changed my life. I just didn't realize the impact that she had on me until recently. Um, she would just, she helped me figure out who I was and what I wanted in life, and that I loved people. And I really think that my life just wouldn't be the same if I didn't meet her this summer. It was a short-lived friendship, but I really miss her. So
Thank you so much to Stacy, Stephen, Kelly, Melissa, and Avi. Those are beautiful words. Honestly, thank you all so much. So now we have Jordan Jones, who will be playing Imagine. So give us a few minutes here to get set up. And Jordan will start soon.
Microphone wherever you'd like it. Zoom microphone.
lovingly known as Brock, passed away unexpectedly in her sleep on January 4th, 2025. She was born on April 23rd, 1971, at Parkland Hospital in Dallas, Texas. Brock was a vibrant and passionate soul who touched the lives of many, as we've seen today. She worked at Michael's in Plano, where her mentorship and warm personality made her a cherished colleague among team members and customers. She also worked part-time at Kohl's in Plano, bringing that same dedication to everything she did. Passions were as diverse as the personality. Brock was an avid lover of music, especially punk, classic rock, and she found joy in vintage clothing, arts and crafts, her collection of nerdy pop culture. She adored all things sci-fi, including Firefly, Star Wars, Doctor Who, and Harry Potter. Known for her retro 50s dresses, especially her TARDIS-inspired one, paired with high heels, she radiated a unique and unforgettable charm. She also had a fierce love for animals, especially her beloved cat Kaylee, who now resides with her daughter, Onyx. Brock's competitive spirit shone brightly in her love of pool. She played in league during her time in Los Angeles, where her talent earned her respect and admiration. Upon returning to Dallas, she loved frequenting local sports bars, delighting in outplaying macho challengers with her precision and skill, a talent instilled in her by her father. Brock's love of life burned brightly, sometimes intensely, but always with authenticity and passion. She was deeply involved in the LGBTQ+ community, volunteering at Pride events in Los Angeles and Dallas, and her advocacy and vibrant spirit will be sorely missed. Brock is survived by her father, Brent Palmer, and his wife, Celeste Palmer, her 15-year-old daughter, Onyx, her sister, Tracy, and her niece, Cora. She is preceded in death by her mother, Cindy Brock. Stephanie Rae Brockford will be remembered for her fierce spirit, compassionate heart, and the indelible mark she left on everyone she met. So at this time, we're gonna open up the microphone to anyone who would like to speak. Even if it's just a few words. I know it's hard, but this is a very loving room, so don't be afraid of that. Don't be anxious, it's okay. To start us off though, one of Brock's old friends from LA, her name is Stephanie Wimmer. She can't be here today because she actually is on the other side of the world, but she sent on some a message that I'm going to read here now, and then if anyone else would like to come up after, please do. This is from Stephanie. How has it been this long, my dear? How has time gotten away from us? How can a life have begun and ended? How can it be that we are just driving down Sunset in your 63 Falcon with the wind in our hair and our future for us? How did we end up strangers on opposite sides of the world? How could you just take a bow and leave and cement our LA decades as a lost moment in time, never to be revisited? So here I am, with all my memories of those formative years of days and nights spent working together and laughing and arguing and dancing and driving with the top down of cool Venice Beach sand and hot Hollywood Boulevard asphalt, of short skirts and kick-ass boots, of finding and losing and rediscovering and changing the meaning of life time and again. And no matter all the years that have passed since, I will miss you. I hope that wherever you are, there is laughter and love. Would anybody else like to come up?
Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Beach. I have known Brock and Allie for a while. Microphone. Okay, there we go. So, I met them back in the mid-2000s. I had moved back to the area from college and I was a little lost. I didn't have any friends. And all I knew is that I loved Harry Potter and I needed to find other people who loved Harry Potter, and I was not internet savvy. This is long enough ago that social media was really in its, beginning years. And so I found a group from the meetup site called, it was Harry Potter DFW, and I met Allie and Brock. And they opened me, brought me into this group, and they were wonderful. And I was like, oh my God, I found people. I never had found people before. I didn't even know that there was a thing I was missing in my life. And they were so supportive of me, and we got to have one of the best weekends of my life together. It was the weekend when we were at Dallas Comic Con, when Brock was brought on stage and with Onyx, and got to have a one-on-one conversation with Carrie, and it was incredible. She was a superstar for the rest of the weekend. We couldn't walk 2 steps without people coming up and be like, "Oh my God, you were on stage with her! It was amazing!" And it was just it was incredible watching that conversation happen in person. It was amazing, and I loved Firefly, and I also found a lover of Nathan Fillion in her, and they were so kind that weekend. They let me take a picture with him, and it was amazing. And she showed off her tattoo, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And we got to take a picture together. And as soon as we left, we both grabbed each other's hands and screamed like, "Oh my God, we touched him!" And it was amazing. And that was kind of getting to have those experiences together, and it was wonderful. And they've supported me when I went through a very nasty breakup, and I was lost in my own heartbreak, and they were there to let me come over and cry and be like, forget about him. He was completely useless and he wasn't worth your time, and they let me cry and be sad, and they were my support. And I know through the years we grew apart, but she was always a wonderful person and always the friend that you needed. She would randomly call me and just randomly message me and just be like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." I'm like, "Okay, great, wonderful." And I know we drifted apart like you do in life, but she is so missed and so loved. And I know that we forever remember her and forever miss her, but we love you, Brock. Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak?
Because I could not stop for death. Death stopped for me. And in the carriage, there is nothing but ourselves and immortality. And I imagine that she couldn't stop. And so death had to stop for her. And some of you are wondering, who's this guy? Never seen him. And I'm just one of the very many people that saw Brock out and about in S4 and Sue Ellen's at a karaoke, and she loved it as well. And she would always do songs that I didn't know, and I would always do songs that she didn't know. And we'd share our love for music together. And she affected so many people because it didn't matter if you didn't know her for that long, or didn't talk to her for that long, or didn't talk about, everything that there could be to discuss, but she touched everybody in her life. And even if they didn't know her name, there will be people here along this whole street, this whole strip, that will know that she is gone and that will miss her. and she's left an emptiness behind. That just a young fool in a man's shoes will not soon fill.
If there's anybody else who'd like to speak. So, again, on behalf of Brock's family, I'd like to thank you all for being here. Especially our speakers. I know that, boy, that's not easy, and you guys all were great and perfect, beautiful words, and it's appreciated. We would also like to thank Mike Wynn with Crave for donating this entire space. This is just such a perfect venue, and it's made it a wonderful day, as much as it could be. And also to Nathan Moss for volunteering your time and your expertise to make this happen. Thank you, and your staff for coming in early. Incredible. Thank you, Paul McCullum, for providing the virtual service over Zoom so that people across the world who couldn't be here today could join with us virtually. Thank you so much, Paul. And to Kelly Hart, for providing this amazing food that we're about to go eat. Thank you, Kelly. And to Jordan Jones for that beautiful performance. Thank you again for coming. Thank you, everybody who's watching virtually. And we have food in the back, and let's continue to celebrate Brock today. Again, this has just been so beautiful to see her family and friends from different parts of her life come together. So let's continue to do that and tell stories and try to enjoy each other for the rest of the day. I do. Oh. I would love to. How did you send that to me, Paul?
Through the text chat.
Oh, I don't think I'm on that chat, text chat. Can you want it? Okay.
I can broadcast. I've got a loud voice. Oh, you got it? He says, I'm not interested in speaking, but wanted to share love and support. Brock was a firecracker from the first moment I met her, and thank her for the love and support she provided to our family. May her memory be a blessing, and may her life lessons live on with us all. Cousin David in Kigali, Rwanda.
Thanks again, everyone.